Is that any better? Can you hear me now? Wow. Well, that lets me know which microphone works. All right. Well, so here's how the story goes. I don't need to wear this anymore. It is snowing here it's been snowing here in Virginia since the top of the page, in fact. Uh, yeah, I do. Let me see if I can. There are a whole bunch of reverb presets. Ooh, here we go. This'll help me now. Okay. How's that? Okay, no. Yeah. How's that? There we go. That's better. So, it's been snowing here in Virginia since the top of the page. Uh, and I got up pretty early this morning actually go get some to go get a few necessities, including diapers. And I had to I had to go out at 9:30 this morning in the snow to get diapers. Now, my local grocery store carries diapers, but I don't know if they're the right kind of diapers. I don't know if they're the right size diapers. For the most part, they aren't. So I went for a 45-minute drive to uh to the Walmart nearest me because half an hour, not 45 minutes, a half an hour drive to the nearest Walmart to get diapers this morning in the snow before I had time to even have my first cup of coffee. This is my first cup of coffee for the day still. So, uh, aside from aside from the just stupidity that snow brings out in Virginia drivers, which made getting to Walmart an adventure to begin with. The people in Walmart were not entirely there. They were paying more attention to their own little world than they were whatever's going on around them. So I get the diapers. I get in line. I've got a couple of other things, a couple of treats for me. I got donuts and Madeleines because I went out in a snowstorm at 9:30 in the morning to get diapers, you know? And I'd like to say I absolutely love going out that early in the morning in the snow. I really do enjoy the adventure of it. It's not like I was upset about it or anything. It's just, you know, let's set the scene. I mean, it's it's pre-coffee, it's snowing, I'm in Walmart buying diapers. I decide I need caffeine, so I dip over to, the next aisle to grab a bottle of Mountain Dew because it has just a bit more caffeine than Pepsi. And when I get back to my cart, the lady in front of me, is still checking out. When I get back to my cart, get right back around this guy just dips around me and throws his stuff up on the conveyor belt. And I said, "Hey." And he turns around and says, "Hey, you." And I said, "You just cut in front of me in line." And he goes, "Yeah, well, you weren't in line. You were still shopping. You weren't, you weren't there." It's like, I mean, I just went to grab a soda. Yeah, well, and he just sort of stayed there. And I had a moment where I had to think about, like, am I gonna be the person who escalates this? Am I am I gonna be the person who causes a problem in Walmart? But also, am I gonna be the person who just gets talked to like that? I thought, I'm gonna give it one more try. I'm gonna do, I'm gonna see what happens. And I said, I think that was really rude, man. That was really rude. And he goes, "Yeah, well, you're being really rude by blocking up the aisle." It's like, this is where we're at. This guy is gonna deflect right back at me no matter what. And I looked down at his knuckles, at his fists, his meaty little hams that were starting to ball up. And I had a moment of, dude, your fists look really soft. Y- You look like you're gonna hurt your hand by hitting me more than you're gonna hurt me. But also, again, do I want to be the guy who gets punched in a Walmart at 9:30 in the morning? So I took a deep breath and I let him get checked out and he was starting to walk away. And the poor young woman behind the cash register was looking so put upon at this point. Poor young lady. And as he starts walking away, I said, "Live well being a jerk." And he turns around and, "What?" And I said, "Live well being a jerk." And he goes, "Yeah, well, what do you think you're doing?" And I said, "Living my best life." And to this, again, the poor lady behind the counter, the poor young woman behind the register is trying not to openly laugh out loud. Like, and he had nothing to say to that. He turned around and left. And I really, like, do you want to be the guy who starts a fight with somebody who's buying diapers at 9:30 in the morning during a snowstorm? Like, really? And I feel like that guy has got to live with that thought at least all day. He's gotta live with the thought that he didn't get the last word. He didn't get to punch me. He had to walk away, and I got to look smart and funny. I feel a little vindicated this way. So, yeah, now YouTube has heard the story. Oh, that is I'm glad the mic wasn't working the first time around because the story I didn't tell the story near as well. Yeah, it was, vindicating. It was vindicating. I don't know why the guy was tripping out like that. Like, maybe he was in a hurry. Maybe he had a sick and hungry somebody at home, and he thought that I was just being disrespectful, and he was, you know, I can give him room and grace for that, but if I'm giving him room and grace for that, then he shouldn't have turned back around when I said, "Have a nice life," being a jerk. He should have just walked off like that. So, I don't know. I feel like I made a good choice. I feel like I made a wise decision in the moment, and I didn't get punched in the face for it. Pretty happy about that. And now I also know which microphone works with YouTube, so I can do YouTube Live and be using the working mic instead of talking into the dead mic. Thank you, Dope Ash, for being here. Uh, and this is gonna live on in perpetuity on YouTube. I think I am occasionally gonna try and be doing some more YouTube live streams that are, just a little more random stuff, stories and random stuff. So, uh, well, you know, as I say, as I say, now is the time when I say, as they say around here, 2 up, 2 down, VA, double deuces. I'm out, y'all. And there's the end stream button.